Did you have any other issues with neighbors? Is not an answer.
Sorry.
Did you have any other issues with neighbors?
The only issue that I had was our neighbor across the street that was videotaping us. His dogs kept coming on the property, and he'd put my kids in a corner.
When did the neighbor across the street start videotaping your property?
About a year before he moved out.
How long had that neighbor been there?
He's been there for 30 years.
So he had no problem with what was going on 2 years into your lease. The first 2 years, he had no problem with you.
He always had a problem with us. He's just an elderly man who just has a problem with people. Not just me, but the neighbors next to us as well.
But he didn't put in a security camera until a year ago.
True.
And it was also within that year that the relationship between you and the plaintiff, which had been a good enough one for him to reduce your rent, which reduced his return on his investment. That's when his attitude changed as well.
Yeah, about 6 months before we left.
Did he ever have a conversation with you about whether or not he was receiving complaints from neighbors?
No.
Never.
Except for the neighbor that I had complaints on. I would ask him, we had conversations about the neighbor's dogs coming in our yard and pinning my kids because they would gather them, all the dogs would gather around them and bark at them. And so I had a conversation with him about that because the gentleman wasn't doing anything about it. He said, I'd been here forever and my dogs go on that property if they want.
Well, the house looks messy and it looks to me as if your security deposit would fix up most of what is there. So you kept your security deposit, is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And based upon what I've seen, I think that's fair.
I also have the itemized list that I made of the things that needed to be fixed and how much they actually cost versus what he actually charged me.
I don't care. I think he was entitled, based upon what I see, to keep your security deposit. I don't think you're entitled to remodel the mobile home. So
I didn't remodel it, but I had to fix the caved-in walls.
Your counterclaim is dismissed.
Well, part of my counterclaim, though, Your Honor, is about the service dogs. I've got proof that it was illegal for him to charge me for my service dogs, that the $500 should be returned because it should have never even been charged.
What kind of dogs do you have?
We have a Lab Great Dane. Well, those dogs have passed. A Lab Great Dane and a German Shepherd Mastiff and a Great Dane St. Bernard also.
I want to know what school your dogs went to for special training as service dogs.
So they went to the Naturally for Paws training, which gave them their good canine citizenship, and then
second. For how long?
For 9 months. They're alert dogs, so my children with special needs, their job, the dog's job, is to alert me when they leave the house, as well as follow them and find them if they get lost.
So is what you're telling me that the program that each of your dogs have gone through is a 9-month program?
So Charlie and Bella, the 2 original dogs, went through that program, which certified me as a trainer for that program to train my own dogs, yes.
So the answer is, with regard to your other dogs that you moved in with, you trained them?
The last dog I trained, yes. We had 3 dogs, ma'am.
Your counterclaim's dismissed.
What about the injuries from his neglect?
Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.